Hello YouLARP watchers and welcome back to the channel. It's going to be a quick review video. About a month ago, me and my friend Jack, we went and crewed an event. It was an Empire event, but it was a faction one, run by the Imperial Orcs. An event I was really looking forward to. I love to fight against the Imperial Orcs. Their costume looks amazing, they're great fun to fight against, take their hits fantastically, and it's just all around good fun. But this video is not about that. It's about someone I met at that event and what they do. So to give you a little bit of background, the event started on the Friday night, but unfortunately me and Jack both had to work slightly later than we wanted to on the Friday, so we turned up late for the event, set our tent up in the dark. We got a bit lost to get in there. I started to get a little bit anxious and worried. There was a lot of people there I didn't know, a lot of new faces, and then met the crew and realised I knew next to nobody. Obviously I knew some of the orcs, but they were all playing and we were playing the monsters, so it's a little bit of a different sort of relationship you've got with them. And then a tall, distinguished gentleman, big smile on his face, came over and said hello, and shook my hand and welcomed us in and sort of brought us up to speed a bit. It was really nice. It became very apparent over the weekend that he definitely knew what he was doing when it came to the level work. He, free of charge, was making them some bits and props to use for their NPCs over the weekend. I think he made some kind of crown for a mage and was painting it and carving the leather, as we were there, and it was just fantastic to watch. They also had some stalls which were selling some of his equipment and bits that he'd made in the past, and I just couldn't help myself. Spent all my pocket money and bought 3 of his items, and that's what we're going to be having a quick look at. So without further ado, we shall start with the first one, which is a 2-piece, a couple of braces. I love these. I saw them. He was selling 2 slightly different sets, both built around the same sort of theme, and I just had to get these ones. They're just fantastic. So it is made out of 3.5mm Vegetan leather, but as you can see, they are indeed lined as well with some kind of suede type thing, which just finishes the look perfectly on the inside and makes them very comfortable to wear. From chatting to Doug about how he made them, he was explaining that they're based on a handbag or a man bag design that he saw. So it's got these kind of interlocking leather slats, and then he uses leather thonging to hold all that into place. I really like what he's done with it. I think it's a very unique looking piece. He's using copper rivets here to hold everything into place. Again, just the colour matching perfectly for me. And with it being that Vegetan and unique, over time the colour should change, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this ages with use, and looking to see it as time passes by. Really happy with them. I actually bought these for my partner, and I know she's ecstatic with them, but I like them a lot as well, so I'm sure I'll borrow them a lot. That's the first piece. Really happy with these. Fantastic. The second, slightly different from the first. So this is an upholstery leather. Again, it looks to be the same sort of rivets in here, and this is to go onto a belt or some kind of harness of some description. I saw it and I wasn't quite sure what it was, and then once I opened it up I knew I had to buy it. Just look at it. Once you get inside, then you've got this Vegetan leather. I think it's probably 3.5mm again, and then the inside of this upholstery leather reinforced with the Vegetan to make it hold its shape. So if we get rid of the case and then have a look. This is something that annoys me a little bit at LARPs, especially Empire. I know they've tried to change the rules. So they use a small, I can't remember what they're called, you kind of like tear it, little piece of card to say that you've drunk a potion. So when you make the potion you get one of these, and then it shows that you can drink it. And a lot of people don't really roleplay the fact that they've drunk a potion. So you'll see these big tournaments and then there'll be like a pause, and then people will just start tearing these things in half, and then healing potion up or whatever potion up. But to actually have them, but more importantly, if I can get this one out, brilliant, it's what you can put in them. So this is, ooh, it's a cheeky little red. Ooh, that's quite pleasant. That's the way to take a healing potion right there. A nice 2015 red. Beautiful. And then you can have different ones, make them all different colours, have the cards slot into the back of the holder, lock the whole thing up, put it on your belt, brilliant. You've turned something that is a little bit immersion breaking, sorry, excuse my overused word there. Physically having to just tear this card in hard to say you've taken the potion, you're not actually doing anything, to consuming a potion, and brilliant. I love this. This will be definitely on my character, or on my healer who follows Clarence around and stops me from dying. Brilliant, love it. And then my favourite piece. As soon as I saw this, I picked it up and I didn't put it down, I knew I was buying it. It's brilliant. A lovely little bag. So from chatting to Doug about this piece, he explained this was originally designed for people with medical needs. So if you needed an EpiPen, insulin, you can keep your mobile phone in here, it's going to be secure. A little piece of information about what medic stuff that you need. He makes a different design where on here he's got the medical symbol, one with the two snakes, which is the caduceus, or however you pronounce it, something like that. Sorry for someone explain how to say it to me in the comments, please. Which is fantastic. So if you do see someone who looks like they're in need and they've got this bag, it should help you on your way, especially if you're first aid trained. I'm fortunate enough not to need that. So I hear you say, what would a world-class role player like you, Adam, who plays Clarence at Empire, keep in his? And this is perfect. A mini bottle of red. Yes! So when he's in that boring Earl's Council meeting or military council or any kind of boring meeting, I will know that he has fought ahead and got himself some red. Brilliant. So when I first got this, I brought these bracers and the little bag for my long-suffering partner stroke camera woman, hooray. But from using this and seeing it and just the beautiful quality of it, I've decided that I think it's probably best if I look after this one, and that this is for Clarence rather than my partner. I think that makes a lot more sense, definitely. Because she's a very bad shot at throwing things at me, so it's fine. Maybe actually I'll just keep the potion bag and she can keep the bracers and the bag, and I'll keep the wine and find some other way to transport my mini red with me. Brilliant. Well, at least I got one thing for myself. So if you're at Empire, feel free to come and say hello. If you're in a boring meeting with me, the chances are Clarence will have some red on him. Just feel free to ask and I'll share. But definitely check out Doug Strand. His website is VeeLeather. I'll have a link to it somewhere. Check out some of the armour he makes because it's just phenomenal. I plan to save up my money and definitely buy myself something from there in the future. And as soon as I do, I'll do a review of that as well. Because his stuff just looks amazing. Incredibly unique. If you come out onto the battlefield with something like this, you're going to be different to the majority of the people out there. There's nothing worse than if you buy some of the mass-produced armours. Yes, they can be a little bit cheaper, but you can also feel like you're in an MMO. You can feel like you're in WoW and you've completed your quest and you see someone who looks almost identical to you. They're in the same equipment and the same kit, and it can break it, unless you're going for that look. Price-wise on all of these, the bracers, I think, so they're, again, lined bracers, I think these were about £35 or £40, which again, I think is really reasonable. I think that's a great price. And I think the bag was something similar. Again, for the quality of this, I think that's amazing. This is handmade, 3.5mm leather. And the last one, this, I couldn't believe the price. I felt bad for buying it off him for so cheap. Was only £5, including everything you see in it, in the bottles. It was a design and a trial one that he was making. I don't know if he's making more, but I definitely hope he does. But give him a message, say you saw this video, and thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.